Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Melanie McGray, and we are going to go over the 5 exercises that you should do every morning. These exercises are great for adding some stability to your day, and if you repeat these every morning, they will really give you some strength too around kind of all the general areas that we don't get to during most of our day. So let's get started. We're going to begin on our backs and rolling down, just being on our back here with our arms long. We're going to find a really nice neutral position. And by neutral, I mean you just need your pelvis neither really curled under or lengthened so your back is arching, but just really in a easy, soft position. And then your ribs are snuggled down into the floor. And then you feel like your arms can reach long and the back of your head is in line with your spine. If you lay down to do these and you feel like your neck is kind of cranking that way, go ahead and put a pillow underneath your head or fold up a small towel or blanket and put it underneath there so that you really bring the spine, the cervical spine and the thoracic, the lower spine, all in a better alignment to do this work. So you're going to feel all 10 toes on the floor. You're going to take a nice breath in through your lungs, trying to fill the back and the side ribs with air. And then on an exhale, you're going to hug those deep abdominal and pelvic floor muscles together, and you're going to curl the pelvis out of neutral into a rounding position. And then you're going to inhale and tip it in the opposite direction, driving your tail down into your mat and creating a little bigger arch underneath your lower spine. Now here you want to still maintain the ribs kind of connected to your mat. You don't want to go too flaring with the ribs. It's just a little bit of an arc in your lower back. And then you're going to exhale. Use those abdominal muscles to tip the pelvis back into that curl. I'm not squeezing my glutes. My legs are just working enough to hold them in this parallel position. And then you're going to inhale and rock into that extension, just a little bit more of a curve in your lower back. So this is number 1. This is the first one. We call it Pelvic Klux or pelvic clocking. And what it does is it really provides some mobility for your lower back. So we're oiling up the backs for the morning. And then also what you're doing is you're breathing, your breath is working to bring more oxygen into the body, to wake it up a little bit more, and you're working your abdominals, your deep pelvic floor muscles, which if they stay nice and strong and flexible, then you're gonna have a good solid support system for your spine throughout the day. Let's do about 5 more. So I would say do 10 total. Inhaling, release, and exhaling to curl, really making sure you're drawing those deep abdominal muscles in to curl the pelvis. So I'm really not, I'll say this again, emphasizing squeezing my butt to do this work. My butt muscles are trying to stay unengaged. It's really coming from just the rock of my bones and the engagement of my deeper abdominal muscles. Good, let's finish with one more here. Exhale, curling, and inhale and releasing. Nice. Go ahead and just set the pelvis back into neutral. All right, number 2 is going to be some bridges, and we're going to do a rolling bridge. And that essentially begins the same way as the pelvic clock, but it continues into a bigger movement. So feet, again, are on the floor planted. All 10 toes and heels are connected. My pelvis is in neutral. My legs are in parallel. You're going to take a nice deep breath in. And on that exhale, scooping through those deep abdominals, rolling through that lower spine. And now I'm going to peel each backbone from the bottom to the top up off the mat. And I'm going to lift my pelvis in the air. And I'm going to just go to where I feel like my pelvis can stay high and my ribs can stay down. I'm using my glutes now. I am squeezing my butt and my hamstrings are working. My arms are long. And I only also go up until where I feel like I'm resting between my shoulder blades. I'm not on my neck. My neck doesn't have a lot of pressure here. And then I take another breath in and exhale. I curl down, releasing one vertebra at a time back down into the mat. Really spending the time to articulate or individualize each vertebra coming down. Once my tailbone reconnects, I take another breath in. I exhale, scoop the abdominals in and roll and round up nice and smooth. Pressing the hips up in the air. I hold that position strong, taking a deep breath in and exhale. I scoop again and curl down, laying one backbone down at a time. So if you do these fairly slow, you'll really feel the work in the back body. Exhale, drawing abdominals in, low abdominals, curling and scooping. Pressing hips, lowering ribs. Inhaling at the top, exhale, soften through the chest and come on down. Peeling through nice and smooth. Let's do 2 more here. Inhale, exhale. So you're getting the benefit of flexibility by rolling through the spine. You're getting the benefit of work in your back body, your hamstrings, your glutes, your back muscles. All those things don't get a whole lot of work during the day, especially if you're sitting at a desk. Those tend to be underworked, so we're giving them some attention. Let's finish one more time. Tailbone reconnects, take a big breath in, exhale, drawing abdominals in, rounding and rolling up through the spine, pressing the hips up in the air, making sure those legs stay in parallel. Deep inhale at the top and exhale. Moving through the spine and rolling down. Great. So that's number 2. Number 3, we're going to move our arms. So we're going to take just a neutral spine again, holding steady. If you want, you can put something between the legs like a ball or a towel to squeeze and get a little extra inner thigh work. But from here, we're just simply going to take the arms up above the head, reaching them back behind us. Making sure that as I reach, my ribs stay snuggled into my mat and my shoulders stay down. So to feel like my shoulder is in the socket properly, I'm gonna keep my palms turned inward. And then on an exhale, I draw my shoulder heads in a bit more. Using some lats, I'm gonna slide and bring the arms back down towards my hips. I'm gonna inhale, reach the arms back, nice and smooth. Inhaling here. And exhaling, coming down. So this seems like such a simple exercise, but if we do it correctly, it's not so simple. And what it's teaching us, what it's teaching our bodies is how to move our arms in the shoulder socket without activating all these other things. So my upper traps aren't squeezing up to my ears to move my arms. My arms really learn how to function properly, smoothly, in their place without a whole lot of other things happening. And then the other benefit is I'm getting a little bit of myofascial release and stretch through my side body. So even though this doesn't feel like one of those amazing stretches, it does stretch some of the fascia that runs along the side of your body. So kind of from your hips all the way up to your armpits. And fascia is just sort of a sheath of muscle fibers kind of that run all over your body. It's sort of like your skin, but the layer underneath your skin. And that can get really tight and it can cause not such a great function in parts of our body if it's too tight. Good, let's take 3 more times. Inhaling, reaching those arms back, enjoying the feeling of these arms moving independently of your trunk and coming down. And one more, reaching back. And down. And one more time, reaching back and down. Good. All right, go ahead and roll to your side. Using the hands to come on up, we're going to do a little bit of side lying. So I always like to do some side lying as one of the things I implement into my morning routine, whether it be a stretch or a strengthening exercise, because side work is so good for our body. It lets one side of the body get some effort, get some attention, and then it changes and we do the other side. And when we're working or moving during the day, we don't always just give one side some attention. So this allows us to do that. So here I'm going to have my elbow underneath my shoulder. My collarbones are wide. Everything's in a nice long line. My knees are stacked. This left hand is going to be on our hip, and we're just going to open and close 10 times. So these are like good old clamshells. Maybe you've heard that term before. And these are not only what we do in order to get our booties stronger, but what it really does is it's making your hips strong. It's getting some hip stability into your body so that your pelvis and your lower back all feel supported. And this is 4. Exhale as you open and inhale as you close. We have 4 more here. As I open, I'm maintaining the hips in a strong, steady, neutral position. Good, and close. 2 more, open and close. Good, and 1 more time, opening and closing. Good, and then we're gonna open 1 more time, and we're gonna do small little pulses. Open, and 2, and 3, and 4, and really kind of squeeze the booty as you do it. Yeah, it'll give it a little extra oomph. Hold there, and go ahead and come on down. Great, let's take the other side. So this whole routine should take you about 15 minutes to do. If you have 15 minutes every morning to get down on your mat and do some movement, these 5 and in the order that we're doing them is great. So we'll take the other side. The elbow is underneath the shoulder. Again, we're in a long line with our bodies. I'm lifting those ribs up so I'm not sinking down on my shoulder as I do this. Hand on the hip, we exhale, we open and close. Exhale, open and close. This is 3 and close. This is 4 and close. And 5 and close. And 6 and close. Nice. Keep those hips nice and steady. Good, and last one, open, my feet stay together and close. We do 1 more for our little pulses. We open, and 2, 3, 4, squeezing the buns a little, 6, 7, and 8. Good, come on down. All right, we're gonna do 1 last one, and this one is for your back. So what I suggest that you do is if you have lower back stuff, or if when you do back work, you feel like, all it is in your lower back, then I want you to get a towel and I want you to roll it up and put it across your mat so that when you lay down, you're gonna have the towel, you're gonna lay on the towel with your hips, okay? And why I want you to do that is because when we're laying on our belly, so you're gonna go on your belly, you're gonna have your head down on top of your hands, your shoulders are down, and your legs are really long. They're about the width of the mat and they're parallel. So the top of my thighs are facing the mat. So here, instead of allowing the butt to kind of lift up towards the ceiling, I'm gonna press my pubic bone down and I'm gonna take my tail and I'm gonna stretch it down, like almost tucking my tail between my legs. So when that happens, my butt engages a little bit more and my abs lift off the floor. And if you have that prop, that towel underneath you, that should help keep that sensation of a long lower back. So you're gonna try to keep that position the whole time as we do this. Taking an inhale, this is our final exercise, number 5, back extension. You're gonna exhale and lift the head and the hands just a little bit off your mat. So you're lengthening your whole body really long, and you're trying to use your back muscles, the mid and upper back, to lift. Now you are using your lower back, but we're not using all of the lower back. Take a breath here and exhale, come on down. Good, let's take another breath in. Exhale, not this one. I'm going to do a variation. So if that first one just felt like too much to go to right away, keep the hands down on the mat and let your back come up with your head on your spine, just feeling like your upper back is doing some of the work. And sometimes keeping your hands down, you can focus on that more because there's less weight. Good, and coming on down. So you choose which variation you want. We're going to do 5 total, so 3 more. Nice inhale to prepare. Exhale, lengthen that lower back, squeeze those buns, lengthen those legs, reach, and lifting the torso, hands on the forehead or not. Take an inhale and exhale, come on down. Good, 2 more. Inhaling. Exhale. Lift up, feeling that great long extension. Inhale here and exhale back down. All right, last one. Take a breath in. Exhale. Lengthen. Long. Feel that stretch. And then come on down. Good. And then go ahead and use your hands. Lift your body, and you can just press yourself in to a nice child's pose. So you're back on your heels, your head is dropped, your arms are reaching, and this is actually a 6th movement, and you can insert this or not, but just a lot of breath in through your back, particularly the parts that you feel worked really hard. Good. And then you can go ahead and come on up. And those are the 5 exercises that you should do every morning. Good luck.